So I don't know if everyone knows, but I've been in Bible school since the beginning of the year. And I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of, like just how my experience went and a little bit about my missions trip as well. So I just have to say that like being placed in an environment where your only goal is to grow in your relationship with the Lord is just amazing. You will never experience such a great time than that. Um, I loved it. I learned so much during classes, and I had such amazing encounters with the Lord during worship and prayer. But one specific thing that like stood out to me was in the beginning, I like found this habit of going from like class to prayer to service, and I was just going from service to service, involving the Lord in my life only when I was in an environment to do so. And then I heard this quote, and it goes, "What you think about, you care about, and what you care about, you chase. Thoughts are the fuel of fire for our affections." And after that, I purposely started setting my mind on the Lord, and I got to watch as my thoughts, what I cared about, and just what I started to chase became completely different from that. And one thing I really liked about SMBS is that they taught you and equipped you and they sent you out. And I went to my mission trip in Guatemala. So I just wanted to share a couple things about that. So the organization I partnered with was Faith in Action Ministries. And one thing they really did not believe in was a schedule. The night before, we found out where we were going the next day, sometimes even changed in the moment. But they really centered their ministry about just going where the Lord sent them that day. And that was really cool because, I don't know, it was really hard for me because I'm a very Google Calendar person, but just being in a place where like the people didn't care what got done, they just cared about touching the people's hearts. That was amazing to see. So some of the ministries we participated in was leading kids programs, doing English classes. They actually recently adopted 7 orphan kids into their family, so they call them their bonus kids. So we would do English classes with them and just play with them. Or sometimes we would even just go into villages to just spend time with people, just say hi, pray over them, just minister to them. So I also have a couple of pictures I'd like to share. So this first one, like people, they built their houses very like secure and hidden in the mountains because when the Spaniards came, they like pushed them up there. And so like they're very secure and remote. And I remember even one time I saw like someone literally like on the edge of a mountain just built their home and they just live like that. And sometimes like these are more developed homes, but it'd just be like a little roof with like 2 sticks. And that's just how they lived. Um, So as you can see here, like we came fully prepared to hike with our fancy hiking shoes and our jugs of water with all the equipment, but then there's like people there running barefoot just straight up the mountain. So like they just run straight up. It was interesting just to go home. That's how the children played. They did have to haul all of their supplies from the villages, and it'd be like a day plus hike. So they would have to carry like this wood on their back, like all the way up. And like it's very steep, like especially in some areas, especially when it like rains, and they'd have to do this like every 3 days just to have a fire to cook their meals on. It's just another picture. This is one of the local families that they work with. And as you can see here, like, I don't know if you can really tell, but the boy in front, his stomach is very bloated. That's because it is full of parasites. And it's a very common problem there because of the food and the water. So one thing the organization really tries to do is to provide people with help with that. Another ministry that we did was going to their landfill. Um, They live in like terrible conditions, and they do this because they dig through this stuff to find bottles to recycle. And once they fill up these like huge white bins of them, they can submit them for like $3 at most. And even like working in these terrible conditions and living here, like they're able to make more money doing this than like a hired job. So they just search through other people's trash all day long because the government also burns it. So they have to like act really fast to find things before it burns. Um, Another thing about the people that like lived at the dump is that they everyone sees them as really dirty people. So people just like pull up in their trucks and they're like, unload me. They just beep their horn. They don't say hi. They don't say bye. They don't talk to them. So when we came, like, and just laying your hand on like the kid, like you can see their whole face just light up because like no one's ever touched them like that before. And it's just this small little task that like really affects them and shows them that you really care and love for them. And lastly, this is the team I was with. And I just want to finish up by saying that if any of you guys have the opportunity to either go to a Bible school or missions trip, I 10 out of 10 recommend it. You will never ever regret saying yes to the Lord and just pursuing Him and giving Him a season of your life. Thank you.